Hello? So I figured I had to cancel my plan to get to be able to use uh, the StreamYard free stuff. Because we still have the plan, like I had my plan on pause for a few months, but I canceled the plan. So it's weird. It's really weird. And I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but we got, yeah, just chilling. Um, Ian is at brought a meeting. Strange thing happened. There's this lady that that she goes to meetings with who was at like a Menards store, and I guess like there's like a freight elevator that goes for customers from the first floor to the second floor, and she ended up having this injury or whatever that took place, and so they're going to have a meeting over there, bring her a meeting and some fellowship, and then later on, we go into a common prayer group, which is interesting. That'll be our first time doing that. Carolyn is taking a nap, and yeah, and I am kind of just sitting here bored. All right. I mean, I guess we can try this. Let's see. All right, Brian. Brett did this earlier, so we will check out our library. So we got Brothers Karamazov. Now this is I love this copy. This is a Easton Press. It's beautiful. Easton Press, Brothers Karamazov. This is a very beautiful find. I have read some of that. I've listened to the whole story, but I've actually read some of that one. I got it because when I heard it, I wanted to be able to like revisit it at some point, but like the actual literature. So Little Women, which I've never read, Dickens short stories, which Anne loves. These are Anne's. We got a John Steinbeck. We got this in our honeymoon at a antique / bookstore. I've never read this. I don't know if it's good or not. I'm sure it probably is. It's, Steinbeck. I got this for Anne, which I haven't read yet. We read parts. So that's the disclaimers. I've not read any of these because, well, that's not true. I've listened to this one and this one and this one and yeah. So I've listened to those. I've listened to that one. But yeah, this was a gift that I got for Anne's. Like maybe it was like her 5th sobriety birthday or whatever, because the Broad Highway is like it's like a common phrase used in some recovery literature, but this is actually a story about like the highway. Like, how do I say this? How do I say this? So copyright 1911. This was like about the UK. In the UK, there used to be these things called highways, but they were like, it was like before cars and stuff. So that's the Broad Highway. We have Tarzan of the Apes, which is beautiful. This is a beautiful book. I don't know what this is. Let me see. Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. It's a very fragile piece. The librarians that may watch this will probably be mortified by it. The way I have this collection sitting here. We got, who is this? Illustrated edition. Tom Sawyer. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Illustrated edition. Interesting. Copyright 1933. That. And then I thought this was an interesting find because I think this was pre-World War II, kind of post-World War I, maybe even pre-World War I. It's like I think this is a book about attaché. Excuse me, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, okay. Copyright 1918. So yeah, this is like post World War, post Great War. Yeah, That's the way of thinking about it. The Great War. And it's an interesting book. I have not read it, but I do find it interesting. And there's like photographs and stuff in here. Yeah, so that's another one. Yeah, this is a grief. This is a book given to Anne by her father. Let's see, what is this? Poems. Oh, Longfellow. We got some Longfellow. Yeah. So that's one we have. That's one of the Longfellow books. We have another one actually. Let's see. This is. By the way, I love the smell. I love the smell of these books. These old books. Brief History of the United States. This is an old textbook. Let's see. Uh, 1890, 1885. Yeah. So this is I think an old textbook, basically, like a school book. So I'm not. It's like got like this embossed or whatever. So that's another old book that we have. We have so these are gifts that Anne got for our first anniversary. She did research and found that there was an old Twitter post that Jordan's sister posted where she was saying that she was given some of these copies to sell. These are signed copies that Anne got from Jordan Peterson's sister. And those are anniversary. These are anniversary gifts. 2 signed copies. You know, I think that was kind of heartbreaking about the Jordan Peterson moment and how he changed, because Anne did know how much he had an impact. Hang on a second. Had an impact on me. He didn't have the same impact on me that my recovery community did, but a similar one. And so when he started to kind of change, that was kind of hard on her, I think. So let's see. Literature and Life, Book 1, Greenlaw, Elson, Keck. I don't know what this is. So sometimes we get these old. This is from 1922. So it's that one. Rex Roth, The Dragon and the Unicorn. I've never read that. This might actually be from Anne's father, because he read a lot and he encouraged Anne to read a lot. It also may be something that she got at like an estate sale. So here's my Martin Shaw Liturgies of the Wild. This is a copy of I don't know who's saying this. Is that your thing? Let me see. What is Ezra saying? Is that your thing? You come to live stream, read some obscure passage, and then pretend to pawn it off as your own. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I've done that. Anyways, this book here is, I have not read it, but this was a gift. That was given to me by Ann's aunt. We had it at somebody found it at a garage sale, and they brought it to as a white elephant gift. So yeah, this was a white elephant gift, and then they kept it, and then she read it, and then she ended up giving it to me after the fact. I've not read it yet, but it's a first edition. It's a first edition, first printing, first edition, Breakfast of Champions, Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Very nice condition. We got this in Maine. We got this in Maine at a bookstore on our honeymoon. This too is a first edition, but it's not as in good condition, but it's a first edition. Cannery Row. This Believing World. I think this came from Ann's father. Yeah. Yeah, so this was given to Ann's father by somebody, and then he loved these kinds of books. I need to actually look into that one. Bright to Wanderer. Bruce Lancaster. I don't know. I think this too is from this one too might be Mike's, Ann's father's. I don't know what it's about. I need to actually read these things. Let me see. This one, oh, this is interesting. So we got this at a bookstore in Maine on our honeymoon. So this is a playwright. It's interesting because it's not fully cut. There's some in the production, it wasn't fully cut. So this is I imagine you got this when you as a memorabilia from the play or something when you went to see the play. The play is The Green Hat, a romance by Michael Arlen, New York. The acting version. Play. Copyright 2025 or 1925. So you have the original cast of. Oh, so okay, interesting. Yeah, so this is the original cast, and then these are the different people of the play. Yeah, so that's how it's a pretty interesting But I like this cover too. It's very nice. It's like almost like seems like a very worn out leather. Um, let's see. This is. Oh, I think I already looked at this. Or is this a second version? Second copy? Excuse me. Maybe it's not a second copy. You got this. Oh, this is interesting. This is a. I think I got this at an antique store, but these are old poems that she wrote. Very beautiful poems. So I gotta check the content or the comments. Um, index, yeah, okay. So then we got this. Oh, white here. Very fragile book. John Greenleaf Whiteyear, poetical works. Okay. Yeah, so these are poems. Let's see, poems from 1846. Let's see, St. John, page 42. Let's read that once. St. John, to the winds give our banner, bear homeward again, cried the Lord of Acedia, cried Charles of Essetine from the prow of his shallop. He gazed as the sun from its bed and the ocean streamed up the St. John. Oh, the blue western waters that shallop has passed, where the mists of the Pentecost clung damp on her mast. Saint Saviour had looked on the heretic sail as the songs of the Huguenot rose on the gale. The pale, ghostly fathers remembered her well, and had crushed her while passing with taper and bell. But the men of Moghanon, of Papist abhorred, had welcomed and feasted the heretic lord. They had loaded his shallop with dunfish and ball, with stores for his larder and steel for his wall. Pemaquid from her bastions and turrets of stone had welcomed his coming with banner and gun. And the prayers of the elders had followed his way as homeward he glided down Pentecost Bay. Oh well, speed La Tour, for it in peril and pain, his lady kept watch for his coming again. O'er the isles of Pheasant the morning sun shone on the plains trees which shaded the shores of St. John. Now why from you battlements speak not, my love? Why waves there no banner, my fortress above? Dark and wild from his deck St. Estienne gazed about on fire-wasted dwellings in silence redoubt, from the low shattered walls which the flame had o'errun. There floated no banner, there thundered no gun, but beneath the low arch of its doorway there stood a pale priest of Rome, in his cloak and his hood. With a bound of a lion, Latour sprang to land. On the throat of the papist he fastened his hand. Speak, son of the woman, of sacred and sin, of scarlet and sin. What wolf has been prowling my castle within? From the grasp of the soldier the Jesuit broke. Half in scorn, half in sorrow, he smiled as he spoke. No wolf, Lord of Estienne, has ravaged thy hall, but thy red-handed rival with fire, steel, and ball. On an errand of mercy I hither came, while the walls of thy castle yet spouted with flame. Pentecost dark vessels were moored in the bay, grim sea lions roaring aloud for their prey. But what of my lady? Cried Charles of Estienne. Oh, the shot-cumbered turret, thy lady was seen, half veiled in the smoke cloud, her hand grasped thy pinion, while her dark tresses swayed on the hot breath of cannon. But woe to the heretic, evermore woe, and the son of the church, and the cross is his foe. In the track of the shell, in the path of the ball, Pentagoet swept over the breach of the wall, steel to steel, gun to gun, one moment, and then alone stood the victor, alone with his men. Of its sturdy defenders, thy lady alone saw the cross-blazoned banner float over St. John. Let the dastard look to it, cried fiery Estienne, where duly Knight Louis I'd free her again. Alas for the lady, no service from thee is needed by her, whom the Lord hath set free. 9 days in stern silence her Thadadorn she bore, but the 10th morning came, and the death opened door. As if sudden smitten Latour staggered back, his hand grasped his sword hilt, his forehead grew back. He sprang on the deck of his shallop again. We cruise now for vengeance. Give way, cried Estienne. Massachusetts shall hear of Huguenots' wrong, and from islands and creekside her fishers shall throng. Pentagoet shall rue what his papists have done, when his palisades echo the Puritan's gun. Oh, the loveliest of heavens hung tenderly o'er him, then there waves in the sunshine and green isles before him. But a pale hand was beckoning the Huguenot on, and in blackness and ashes behind was St. John. Damn. That was written in 1647. My goodness. That is wild. So beautiful, tattered leather, old poetry book. So these old poets, man, I tell you, dude, they had some fire. I've shown this one before. This is a Longfellow book. This has a bunch of Longfellow poems from like the late 1800s. Beautiful book. Velveteen Rabbit, which I've not yet read. Yeah, Adventures in American Literature, revised edition, some O. Henry. Anne's father loved O. Henry books. And then we got this one in California. The last time we were there, there was we were out staying outside of Yosemite, and there was like an antique store and this beautiful, beautiful book, Giants of the Republic. Beautiful book. I love the smell of this thing. Mm, beautiful book. So that's kind of like that's kind of like the nicest books shelf. Very beautiful. This is our, you know, this is a gift I made for Anne for her uh, sobriety birthday. One of her sobriety birthdays. Year 5. Yep. Beautiful book. Our beautiful gift. I've carved that. Carved that. We had this. This came from. Um, um, this is another gift. I think that was actually in there because we had this thing going on these books. I can't. Puffins. Puffins were like a cutesy thing that we shared with each other. These are um, kind of. These are all Anne's books, I think. Many different kinds of literature. You have uh, Marriage Insurance by Reverend Francis Hoffman, Distracted, Maggie Jackson, Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, which I've never read. I don't know. I don't think I will read that actually. I've heard a lot about it, but I kind of get annoyed by the hype that's around The Four Agreements. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, Taking Flight, Anthony DeMello. Oh, that sounds so familiar. Anthony DeMello. Um, Always a Springtime, Writing from the Body, Love Sense, Gray Matters, Anne Lamott, Bird by Bird, Levine, Life Meditations, Marriage is like Dancing, Athlete's Guide to Recovery, Siddhartha, Herman Hesse. Um, yeah, so there's all sorts of uh, purpose-driven life. Yeah, there's probably like 5 or 6 versions of this around. I think the ladies were working on that book for a while. Pilgrim's Progress. Rene Descartes. I think she got this for her. She was doing a class. As Bill sees it, I think this is actually Mark S's Thomas Merton. Excuse me. Um, yeah. So that's and then some Milwaukee, Wisconsin, like literature there. There's that. I have a bunch of family albums here, these are very treasured to me. I think this is something that people should revisit is how to make these because the thing with the cloud is you don't have the problem with the cloud is like you don't have this kind of like you know this kind of like care that goes into the pictures that you take and they go on the cloud. So this is probably 40 years old. um, yeah, my mom took notes and stuff. um, and I get to look at these old pictures and I care about these things a lot. You know, You know, these are powerful. I think this is after my first surgery. And that's mom and dad and Grandma Carolyn on Pismo Beach. And that lady all the way over there on the outside, that's my grandmother Carolyn. That's who Carolyn's named after. And that's my mom and dad and myself. And this is a meaningful picture to me because it demonstrates to me how fragile time is, and I need to really continue to grow and become the man that God would have me be, so I can actually be like this, but for indefinitely, you know. Let's see, 2 months, 3 weeks old. So still have certain, have 3 months old right there. There's my doctor, my surgeon, Dr. Pearl, my mother, and this guy did some really great work. When I first started seeing Carolyn, she would give these kind of like looks, and I could see her. I could see myself in her, which is cool. So yeah, that's some old. Those are some old family albums. We have. Let's see. That's a painting we got. We got that painting. That's a hand painted paint. It's not a copy. The guy made it for his family, and they were selling stuff at an estate, and we got that when we got the house. All right. So this is, see if you can make sense of our system here. So we have some C.S. Lewis. We got Mere Christianity, The Four Loves, Out of the Silent Planet, and then all of these are Lewis. This one kind of doesn't belong here. And this is like Simple Daybook of Comfort and Joy. More Wisconsin stuff. The Wisconsin ones don't really belong in here, but yeah, Frey. Okay. Oh, this is according to Hoyle. So this is like a book for, like a card game book, old card game book. A Course in Miracles. Never read it. Never will. A Day at a Time. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. We got like probably 15 copies of this. Foreign Phrases in Daily Use. I like cool little books like that. Isn't that cool? It's really small. Helen Steiner Rice. Heart Gifts from Helen Steiner Rice. Conversations with God, Book 1. I always want to suggest people read this. There's a lot of really good stuff in this book, although this was a book that was one of my first connections, getting me to kind of over the hump and to earnestly seek God. I didn't land there, but that helped me out a lot. There's this one, Chains of Grace, by Stan Vanderklay. That's Paul's dad's book. Fine Balance. Don't know who wrote that. We got Kierkegaard, Practicing Christianity, which I've not read. We got Kierkegaard, Fear and Trembling. Everybody probably knows this one. We have The Language of Creation by Owen Matthew Peugeot. We got Emmett Fox. This is a cool book. Okay, so this is Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's a diary, a writer's diary. It's 3 years of his diaries. I've read some of that one. I like that one. I always want to suggest this book to anybody. This is a very good book. It's called The Spirituality of Imperfection by Ernie Kurtz and Catherine Ketchman. Very, very good book. I treated this one as like a daily reader, but it has all sorts of different stuff in there. This Storytelling in Search for Meaning. I got this book on the recommendation of Paul Vanderklay way back when. He has a blurb that he wrote on there. Right there. See, that's his blurb. And then here's a book I've never read yet. Memories, Dreams, Reflections. Carl Jung. So there's that book. It's kind of like a strange, eclectic, spiritual shelf. We got Gulag Archipelago, Atlas Shrugged. I don't know if that's I don't think that's like a first edition. Let's see. No, it's this is newer. Yeah, this is a newer release, but we have that. Yes, I have an iPhone. We got all the Narnia. Anne loves Tolkien. So we got, these are like CDs, books on tape CDs. And then I don't remember who got this. Somebody got this for her. Oh yeah. This was a gift from Anne's sister to Anne. And these are like illustrations from that. This is Anne's original copy of The Lord of the Rings. And I got her this book set from Easton Press. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. You come with like a whole map and stuff. But like this is a very beautiful leather bound, beautiful book. Now, this is a 5-book set that I got her for one of our anniversaries. I can't remember which anniversary it was that I got that set, but I love that we have that. An old copy of The Hobbit. So there's our kind of Tolkien, mostly Tolkien shelf. And we have this was something that was we inherited from her uncle when he passed away. But this is like the great courses, like a whole set of the great courses. These are DVDs and books. So you have like Augustine, Philosopher and Saint. You have Argumemnon, the study of effective reasoning. Obviously, I've not read that. Get it? Yeah, this is a whole thing. History of the United States. Yeah, so there's a whole thing there. And then this is, I don't know what that is. Anyhow, that came from Uncle Tom, along with the Gulag Archipelago and the Atlas Shrugged. Those all came from Uncle Tom. We have, these came from Uncle Tom too. Butler's Lives of the Saints. Hellos. These were all Toms. Then we got some Bibles. A Year with Anthony DeMello. Who is this Anthony DeMello guy? We got Miracles. C.S. Oh, I need to read that. This is a very good book. Want to suggest this to anybody? Rachel, Naomi, Remen. This was suggested by Anne's father. He was reading this a lot near the last couple of years. New Pair of Glasses. Great book. If you never read that, I always want to suggest people check this out. Very useful. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oliver Sacks. Tales of Music and the Brain. Classic. Yeah. Awakenings by Oliver Sacks. Great stuff. This is, so this is a book called The Complete Sayings of Jesus Christ. I ended up listening to the audiobook version, and the audiobook version is where I had my conversion experience. And because of that, I thought I would like to have the copy of the book. So it's a hard copy of that. The First Society, John, I don't know who that is. We have Socrates, Selections. No. Descartes. Yeah, Descartes, Selections. We got Plato, Five Dialogues, Rene Descartes, Meditations on Philosophy, Plato. What is this? Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl. We got Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. Yep. And on Man in the Universe. So you got Aristotle and Marcus Aurelius there. Beautiful books. So those are some old beautiful books. And we have these are all like fiction, basically, I think. Oh boy. All right. So, yeah, there's like Sherlock Holmes stuff, all sorts of different kinds of books, fiction, nonfiction, all those. Yeah. So yeah, there's my library. Oh, we got records too, which, be nice to get more records, but we have a few of them. So, there. Whoa. So there's that. Oop. And I don't know what else to say. So maybe I'll just call it a day. Thanks for listening.